I met this old man at the mall a few months ago. We actually met in ShopRite. I was there with a friend to buy a few things, and this man approached me and told me I was beautiful. He asked me if I stayed around and asked for my number. Now, me, I don't like old guys, but I like sugar daddies. And with the way he was dressed, he looked like he had money. But I wanted to be sure-faced, so I intentionally didn't give him my number. I just walked with him throughout the shop as we chatted about different things. When it was finally time to pay for the things we bought, I waited and watched. After the cashier was done with calculating my things, I was about to pay. When he said, "Oh, don't worry, I'll pay for you," the things I bought was about 1,500 cedis. And this man paid. So I was like, this man might have sugar after all. But I wanted to see the car he was driving to before I made my final decision. When we got to the car park, he was driving one beautiful car like that. Me, I don't know much about cars like that, so I don't know the name of the car. But it was beautiful and big. I finally came to the decision that this man was definitely sugar daddy material. And so I gave my number to him. And even before he left, he gave us 300 cedis for Uber fare. On our way home, both my friend and I were talking about how I was going to take plenty money from this man. It has always been my dream to get a boutique shop. I've been working towards it, but the progress was kind of slow. Now with this man, I knew I would get a shop fast. I thought he would call me immediately because he looked like he really wanted to get to know me. But I didn't hear from him that whole week. I was even beginning to think he has forgotten about me, or another young girl has taken him from me. But then he called me on Sunday. We spoke about 30 minutes on the phone, and then he told me he would love to see me the next weekend. He wanted me to come to his house, but I was like, no, this is our first meeting. So we both decided to meet again at the mall for pizza that weekend. But when the day came, he called me and told me he was sick. And his voice really looked like someone who was sick. And so we had to postpone the meeting to another week. Finally, it was time to meet again, and we met at Eddie's Pizza. And this man came there with a different car. I was just telling myself in my head that I've really hit the jackpot. We finally ordered our pizza and drinks, and we spoke about different things. Now, this man did not talk like someone who was really learned like that. His English was not even that good. But that was not a problem. I wanted to ask him if he was married, but I was also scared he would say yes. But then during our conversation, he told me he was single, but he had 2 kids with his previous wife. So that was that. He was not married. I think everything we ate was about 500 cedis, and this man paid everything. And just like before, he also gave me 300 cedis for my Uber fare. My friend told me that I should be giving him more pressure to meet up and to be talking more, since to get a sugar daddy these days was difficult. So I called him and told him I would be coming to see him that weekend, and he was very thrilled. He was living in this huge house in the estates. His house was beautiful but dirty, like very, very dirty. He told me he lived with one of his daughters, but she has traveled outside the country, so it was only him, and he couldn't clean the house like the way his daughter does. As for me, I just went to sit down on the couch. But this man kept talking about how he was old and couldn't clean, and how it would mean a lot to him if someone cleans the house for him. After some time, I realized he was trying to get me to clean the place for him. Under normal circumstances, I would never do this for anyone else. But this was my sugar daddy, and he will be giving me plenty money in the near future. So I was like, what the heck? Let me just clean this place for him. And the whole cleaning took about 3 hours. I cleaned his bedroom, I cleaned his living room and his bathrooms. The whole place was really dirty. I could see he was happy with what I've done for him. And I kept telling myself that he was going to give me plenty money before I left. I was very hungry after everything, and I told him he should order food for us. But this man said I should cook rice and stew for us, and that he wanted to taste my handwriting. I was very tired at this point, but I wanted to impress him, and so I agreed to cook for him. He went to buy the ingredients, and I cooked rice and stew for us to eat. By the time I finished, it was very late, but I still wanted to leave. But before I could leave, this man received a call, and from the way he was talking, he was expecting a lot of money the next morning, so I decided to stay. And this man was old, but he had energy. He enjoyed me for more than 1 hour. He would stop and then go again. He would stop and then go again. Hey, but I endured this. Before we slept, he told me he had great plans for me. He said he would make me very happy and that everything I want, I would get. Now, before I would leave that morning, I saw this man arranging the things in the bedroom and the living room. So I was telling myself in my head that if he knew how to arrange things like this, why was the place dirty? Then I saw him putting his clothes into a very worn out bag. Then he went to the kitchen to make sure that that place looked neat. And then he walked out of the house with me. My Uber was around, and he told me that this time around I should pay for the Uber myself. He said he was expecting some money that morning and that he would send me money later on. I knew it was true because he had received a call in front of me. As I was entering into the Uber, I saw this man locking the door of the house, and then I saw him walk towards the boys' quarters. Something felt off, and at this point, the Uber has driven out of the house. But I asked him to stop and went back into the house to talk to this man again. I knocked on the door of the boys' quarters and asked him what he was doing there. And this man told me point blank that this is where he stays with his daughter. And I was like, what about the house we just slept in? And he said the house belonged to his boss, and that he just wanted to give me princess treatment. That is why he met with me in the house. He said his boss had traveled, and so he had access to it. I was like, princess treatment, Kate? You that you made me clean the house like a maid. And this man said he never asked me me to clean the house and that I did it on my own will. Come and see the way my heart was beating in my chest. I asked him his job there and he said it was just the gatekeeper. And his daughter was the cleaner in the house. But she has traveled and the boss was coming the next day. And so it really means a lot to him that I cleaned out the place for her. I was just speechless. I had just given myself several times to an old gatekeeper with no sugar. This old man had played me and I had fallen for it. I left his house in anger. And the only money this man sent me during the week was 200 cedis. After sending the 200 cedis, he had the audacity to ask me to come to his house that weekend again. I cut the line and blocked his number fast. My friend told me that maybe he's testing me to see if I like him for him or if I like him because of his money. And so I should give him another chance. But what if he's wrong and this man is really a gatekeeper? I don't want to just waste my time and not get anything from it. I don't know what to do. Should I unblock this man and give him another chance? Or should I just move on with my life? This follower needs your advice, babes. Please drop some below. And don't forget to follow me for more story times.